This is our 19th year coming to Chicago, okay? 19 years. The first time I came here, I got a chance to meet some people, and they says, you know what, Gabriel, have you ever been here? Have you ever been to Chicago? Like, no, it's my first time. They said, well, you know, we'd like to take you out to eat if you're down. And I'm like, well, hello. I am very down. They took me to a restaurant called Portillo's. You heard of it? So we get there, and it was very, very good. The hot dogs were delicious. I had a chicken chop salad, it was amazing. Had a beef dip, really, really good. But it wasn't until the meal was almost over that these new friends of mine said, we'd like for you to try something you might not have ever had before. And I'm like, that's not likely. I said, well, what is it you want me to try? And they said, well, they sell a thing here at Portillo's called a chocolate cake shake. I said, you had me at chocolate. They said, well, you gotta go up to the special window and you gotta order it from the lady. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get up and I walk over to the lady and she's like, can I help you? I say, yes, my friends are telling me that I need to try this thing called a chocolate cake shake. Okay, what size would you like? How good is it? You want a large. All right, can I please have a large chocolate cake shake? No problem. There I pay. And she turns around. She turns around and she walks over to this little refrigerator that's on the counter. And she opens it up and she pulls out a piece of chocolate cake. And I'm thinking to myself, she must misunderstood what I said. I didn't ask for a piece of chocolate cake. I asked for a chocolate cake shake. She must have heard what I was thinking because she's walking by and she's like, it's gonna happen. She walks over to the blender, she takes the freaking lid off, and she just looks at me and does this. And I was like, no. And she's like, oh yeah. She pours it and she hands me this like 44-ounce chocolate shake, which is way more than anybody should be drinking. The straw was so thick you could almost fit your thumb in it, okay? So I grab the shake and I begin to attempt to drink it. So I'm just, and I can see the shake coming out. And it hit, and then all of a sudden, woo! I know some of you in the front are looking at me right now like, well, how big were you? I know. Hercules, yeah. Anyways, you guys, let me tell you what happened. Basically, I found out I was a little sick. I was diagnosed about 2 years ago, type 2 diabetic. Now, I maxed out at 445 pounds. Yeah, that's way past fluffy, okay? Let's be honest, that's not even, damn! 445 pounds, that's borderline Discovery Channel fat. That was like, I couldn't leave the house, you know?
He wants to go to the movies.
It was really bad, you guys, and so I was waking up every morning with a 300 plus sugar level. Now, anyone who knows anything about diabetes, that is super high. And you do that enough times and eventually, clear.
It's so hard to say goodbye. They buried him in frosting. It was the sweetest funeral ever. Everyone got a cupcake. It was so nice.
I'm at the doctor's office, you guys, and the doctor tells me, he says, listen, Gabriel, you're 445 pounds, your weight is out of control, your diabetes is out of control. You're 35 years old, you will not live another 2 years. I guarantee it. And I got very emotional, you know. I was like, are you serious? He goes, 2 years tops. And I was like, but I just started making money. Well, it's gonna be a nice funeral. I was like, what an ass. So it took a lot for me to finally start doing something about it, you know, because it's not like this is the first time I try to lose weight. This has been happening for a long time, but somebody tells you you're gonna die, you actually wake up. So what it took the support of my friends, my family, and, you know, especially, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Martin, you guys, helped me out so much because he's always encouraging me to go to the gym. Let's go work out, bro. Let's go do something. And more importantly than let's go work out is, you know, we're on the road together 46 weeks out of the year, so we eat together a lot, and he's always watching what I eat. And if he sees me reaching for something I shouldn't mess with, he checks me, especially breakfast. That's my favorite meal. I love breakfast. And they always put us at these nice hotels where they give us this continental breakfast with the buffet, and, you know, if I'm eating eggs and bacon and sausage, that's fine. Yes, some of it's fattening, but guess what? No sugar. If Martin sees me reaching for muffins or waffles, he makes a scene. He waits for me to get about 15 feet away, and he starts yelling in front of all the people at the restaurant. Oh yeah, he's still ghetto. I don't care if it's a Ritz-Carlton. Guess what? Machete's here. He starts yelling. He waits for me to get 15 feet away, and then he starts. Really, bro? You're gonna put that in your mouth, Fluffy? You know what that's gonna do to your body? Hey, have some self-respect. And he makes me cry at breakfast. I'm sad. I'm like, I don't want the muffin. I don't want it. I don't want the muffin. I'm not a little whore. I'm not a little whore. But see, that is a real friend who would check me and remind me, hey, bro, get mad at me all you want. I just want you to live. And I gotta respect that. That's why I love that dude, you know? And in turn, sometimes I gotta check Martin. Yeah. Believe me, you guys, it goes both ways. Sometimes I have to check him. Not about his weight, but he has his demons too. You know, oh, believe that. Yes, sometimes there's limited space at the hotels where we're staying at. So sometimes we gotta double up on a room. And every now and then, Martin will bring some random girl to the room at 3 o'clock in the morning, wakes me up. I gotta look at him and say, really, bro? You're gonna put that in your mouth? Do you know what that's gonna do to your body? Hey, have some self. He doesn't, he really doesn't. So I got some tweets about the first show. People were asking Martin because, you know, people saw Stand Up Revolution season 1 and they noticed that your hair is different. Your hair is actually 3 inches longer than it was last year.
You know what? I'm just glad I picked up inches somewhere, bro. I'll take it.
Well, it's different, bro, because last year, you know, it was getting longer, kind of starts getting, now you're bringing back the 80s, bro.
I wish I could bring back the 80s. I went hard in the 80s, bro. You know that show, Remember the 80s? Mm-hmm. I'm glad they made it, because I forgot half the crap that I did.
And you guys have no idea. This man right here, okay, he looks like a rock star because he is. He parties hard. I know how hard he parties. Ozo knows how hard he parties. Let me tell you a story. After, season 1, Stand Up Revolution, we went on tour for a while. We went all over the U.S., and as a gift to all my buddies that were on the tour with me, I gave everybody an iPhone 4S. For gift. Martin was so excited because it had this feature, it still has this feature called Siri, where you hit the button and you can talk to the phone, and it'll help you out. Like you say, oh, call John, and it's like, ding, ding, calling John. It's really, really cool. But Martin, you see how he is? He messes with the phone. He's like, ding, ding, Siri, tell me something dirty. And the phone takes everything literal, so it's like, ding, would you like me to locate a car wash? So anyways, you guys, I had a lot of fun watching him play with the phone. But then a couple weeks go by, and we're doing a show out in Northern California in San Jose. And we had a really good time that night doing the show, and the people invited us to hang out, and we had a bunch of drinks. And someone said, you want to go eat? And I was like, yeah. And someone said, you want to go drink? And so Martin and I parted ways for about an hour, and then we met up an hour later back at the, at the hotel. And I'm walking in okay, and he's gone. He is just, and somebody's helping him in. I'm like, who are you? I don't know, but he fell. And dragging him in. And He doesn't even take off his clothes. He gets into the bed with everything on, including his shoes. So the next morning, guys, Martin comes over to my side of the room and he's like, bro, are you okay? Bro, I peed on myself. And my response was actually, again? Because he's partied that hard in the past. Martin has partied so hard, you guys, that there's been times where he's had to throw away mattresses. All right? So I go, Martin, why are you taking this so much worse? In the past, whenever that happened, he laughed about, oh, bro, look what happened. Party like a rock star, you know? He goes, bro, you don't understand. My phone was in my pocket. I go, no. Yeah, I drowned Siri. I had a heart attack. And I felt bad because Martin was like, bro, it's a new phone. I go, listen, Martin. I said, hey, don't worry. I got you covered, man. And so I said, listen, I'm going to go get you a new phone. So we take a nice little trip to the mall, and we found an Apple store. And we get to the front, and there's a girl there with a clipboard, and they're always trying to, how can I help you? And, well, we want to see about replacing my friend's phone. Did he lose it? I go, no, it's actually, it got damaged. Well, what's wrong with the phone? I go, it kind of got wet. And then she looks at Martin. Oh, did someone drop it in the sink? Like, no, not exactly. And she said, oh, he dropped it in the toilet? I go, he wishes. She goes, well, we have a few in stock. Would you like a black iPhone or would you like a white iPhone? I said, well, you know, Martin and I have the same color iPhone. I said, we both have a white one. So I says, just so we don't have the confusion of always grabbing each other's phones, I said, Martin, would you mind getting a black iPhone? He goes, yeah, but does the black iPhone have Siri? And I'm like, what kind of a question is that? Why wouldn't the black iPhone have Siri, right? And then I started thinking, can you imagine if a black iPhone was really a black iPhone? You know, Martin gets in the car. Doo, doo. Siri, what's the temperature outside? Why don't you stick your head out the window? Doo, doo. Siri, talk dirty to me. You better not pee on me. Okay, I ain't like that. Why?